Hey there, everyone. This is Anthony Avina, and welcome to the Edge of Sanity. This is my personal podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're listening to this on iTunes or Podomatic, thank you for listening. And if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, thank you for watching. Just thought I'd talk to you guys about the random stuff going on in my chaotic life. First up, personally, 2 days are left until my dad's birthday. His birthday is a month before mine. He is, well, I'm not going to give away his age, that'd be rude. But everyone, if you guys can just, leave comments wishing him a happy birthday, I'd appreciate it. Now on to what's in my head. What is teetering on the edge of sanity? I am in the midst of writing a lot of different stuff right now. I am working on a brand new novel, brand new story, new characters, not a continuation of any of my other series. I can tell you it's a science fiction novel, but I'm not going to get into what it's about yet. I was going to enter it into the Amazon contest, but unfortunately the submission date started 2 days ago. I thought it was going to be later this week, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to enter it before we get to 10,000 entries. So we'll see. Excuse me. What else, guys? Tonight, the Guardians of the Galaxy film is going to premiere, and I'm super excited about that. I've been dying to see the trailer for this movie ever since it was announced. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I love the casting for this movie. Vin Diesel voicing the walking tree Groot with his 3 words is going to be interesting. Also, Bradley Cooper being the voice of Rocket Raccoon is awesome. I'm excited to see freaking Ronan the Accuser from Marvel Comics, who is one of the main members of the Kree Empire. That's going to be interesting, and his character introduction kind of makes me wonder if they're going to be introducing Captain Marvel, who is part of the Kree Empire, and then of course Miss Marvel from Earth, who gains powers from the Kree Empire. And then a whole mess of other storylines like the Kree-Skrull war that gets to Earth, and the heroes have to fight for Earth's survival amidst this war between 2 alien races. That would be interesting, I think. What else, guys? What else can we talk about today? Excuse me. I have written 1 web series thus far based on one of my books, and I would love to get that going. I'd love to meet some like-minded filmmakers, YouTubers, actors, actresses, anything like that. That would be interesting in adapting this script I've written. I got a lot of ideas for other scripts too. I'm actually starting to work on a drama series that I got inspired to write based on that song "Say Something" by Great Big World. That song kind of inspired me to write this drama series that I had a good idea for. So I also would love to adapt some of my other stories into a web series. Epicenter, of course, being one of them. And then I have ideas for comedy, skits, sketches. But of course, I'm not an actor. I don't think you guys want to see me awkwardly trying to act when I shouldn't be. So it's all about, connecting with other YouTubers and actors and everything, and putting myself out there. I'm also trying to get a working script going for a possible comic book based on my book Epicenter. There were some companies that were showing interest, but I don't want to wait around hoping that maybe they'll pick me, maybe they'll return messages and want to work with me. I got to get going. So I'm going to start work on that script myself. What else? I just finished doing the weekly riff and the YouTube spotlight for On Request magazine, online magazine I write for. After this podcast, I got to work on another episode of the Epicenter reading. I have not been doing that in the recent weeks. What else? I got to start planning or thinking about what I want to do for my birthday. I don't know what I want to do yet. It'll probably end up being something Universal Studios related. But not 100% sure yet. I'd like to make some more friends and meet some more people before I think about having a party. But I do have some good ideas for party theme type of stuff that I'd like to do in the future. I am excited for this birthday though, because my favorite number is 24, and I'm turning 24 this year, so I'm pretty excited about that. Sponsored by Transformers. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have sponsors. What else, guys? I currently have a new game paused, The Wolf Among Us Episode 2, Smoke and Mirrors. I'm in the middle of playing that right now, so I'm pretty excited. I finally bought Alan Wake's American Nightmare, which is a Xbox Arcade sequel to the Alan Wake game that came out years and years ago. I can't wait to play that. I think it's supposed to be very Quentin Tarantino style as far as the gameplay, so I'm excited to play. What else, guys? 1 week until Arrow comes back. I'm super excited. A lot of the CW shows coming back next week. Also, The Blacklist coming back next week. I'm excited for that. A lot of ums today, huh? Next week is going to be the first episode of Late Night with Seth Meyers. I don't watch nighttime television, like, the late night shows that often. Once in a while I watch Conan, but I don't watch like Jimmy Kimmel or Jay Leno. Definitely never watched him. I like Jimmy Fallon. I'm excited about this new lineup of Tonight Show stuff, so Late Night and Tonight Show. So I can't wait to watch that. Especially Seth Meyers. I love Seth Meyers from SNL. Weekend Update was my favorite part of SNL, and I'm sad to see him leave, but I'm excited to see his new show. They announced Fred Armisen from SNL is going to be leading the band on Late Night with Seth Meyers, which is awesome. Personally, I'd love to see freaking Bill Hader come on the show as Stefan and be Seth Meyers' sidekick, have kind of like the Andy Richter to Seth Meyers' Conan, so that'd be awesome. I'd love to see that. What else? Sammy's asleep. My little Sammy. Here, buddy. Oh! Hi, Sammy. Hi, buddy. Say hi. This is Sammy. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see him. If you're listening, I have a little Yorkshire Terrier named Sammy, and he's waving to you guys right now. He's pretty tired, but you can see he's wearing his Superman shirt, and yeah, he's exhausted, so yeah, he's gonna go. I'm just chilling here right now. Got a couple hours to myself, so I thought I'd talk to you guys. Not as much going on this week as last week. I have a free book promotion going on right now for 2 books. Well, one book of poetry. The book of poetry is called Blood and Romance. It's got poetry that is both horror-based and romance-based. It's about 20 pages, I believe, of poetry. So there's epic poems, there's regular old poetry, haikus, that kind of stuff. You guys can check that out. It's free from now until the 20th. And then there is my one of my very first novels, I Was a Teenage Killer. That's my best-selling novel to date, and that is free right now until the 20th as well. The book follows an unlikely serial killer in this small town that no one would ever suspect, and the murderous spree they go on, and the terror they wreak, unbeknownst to the people closest to them. And it also focuses on the investigation of the crimes and one detective's journey to bring that person down. So I love that book. I wrote a whole series based on it. By the title, you can probably guess the killer is a teenager, but which teenager? You'll have to read to find out. I wrote this to showcase that evil can come in any form. When you look at both fictional and non-fictional serial killers in the day, you notice that a lot of times they're considered outcasts. Jeffrey Dahmer, Norman Bates, Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy, a lot of serial killers, both real and fictional, are considered outcasts to our society. But then you got serial killers like Ted Bundy, who, was considered a ladies' man. He was a charmer. He knew how to play people. He knew how to, like I said, play people, to get into their heads, to put a persona on that really wasn't him, that hid the monster within. So my whole purpose with writing this was to showcase, just because a person is popular or athletic or, charming, good, on all appearances on the outside, doesn't mean necessarily that they're good people on the inside, and the same goes for good people, For example, I'll give you one of the cases I've followed closely over the years, the West Memphis 3, who were finally released a couple years ago from prison. In this small Christian town, very religious town, 3 young boys, young children, were killed brutally, drained of blood. It was very much posed to look like a cult kind of thing, killing. And they arrested 3 young teenagers, 3 boys, because they were listening to, metal and goth music. They dressed in black. They loved Stephen King. All this stuff I could be guilty of, but because it was a very small religious town, they took that to mean they were Satanists. When you combine that with the fact that they were all teenage boys who were not the brightest at the time and didn't view this as a serious thing, they were convicted of these crimes, even though there's no physical evidence suggesting they committed the crime. Meanwhile, there's physical evidence tying other people to the crime, but the judge who was responsible for having them convicted would never take a look at the evidence. They had to spend years in jail with one of the teens on death row for being accused of orchestrating the whole thing. And he was nearly killed. He was nearly executed. But finally, they got to the Supreme Court. It took, a lot of celebrities like Johnny Depp and Peter Jackson and a lot of rock stars and a lot of, very popular people were outraged that these 3 then teens, now adults, were being accused of these brutal crimes when there was no evidence connecting them to the crime at all, save for their love for things that weren't considered religious. So there was blood found at a nearby restaurant that an unidentified male left in the bathroom that was found to belong to one of the boys. One of the stepdads had a bloody knife that I believe might have had one of the boys' DNA on it or something. I'm not sure. There's a lot of weird things going on in that town, which again proves my point. The ones who you would think would be the killers, the goth kids, the ones who aren't religious or Christian, were innocent, whereas one of the stepdads who was Christian, who was like the family man, now suspected of being the killer. The sad part about that case is that they only were able to secure their freedom by agreeing not to sue the state for false imprisonment and to not have the actual conviction overturned. I don't know exactly the details of it, but they were able to be released, but they couldn't say that they were falsely imprisoned or something, which sucks in that respect, because, you know, there's a killer out there, a real killer, who murdered 3 little boys, very viciously, and, yeah, it's very sad. And, you know, there are 6 victims, if you think about it, the 3 little kids who were killed, and then the 3 young teens who were falsely imprisoned for most of their lives. Very sad. So, that's why I wrote the book, because you don't always know who the killer is, who the evil one is, just by looking at someone. And it's about the struggle for good versus evil, which I love to explore in my books, you know. Because the human history is filled with stories of good triumphing over evil, evil pushing the boundaries and nearly winning, but in the end, good mostly finding a way to win. You know, there are times where human history has failed us, where humans as a whole have succumbed to evil over good. But I like to look at it that those people may have failed, but those who came after may have done some good, may have righted some of the wrongs that the people before them did. So those are the free books right now. Go pick up your copy on Amazon.com. You can search under my name, Anthony Avina, and a whole list of my books will come up. I Was a Teenage Killer and Blood and Romance being 2 of them. And they are free from now until Thursday, the 20th. So check that out. I think that's going to do it for me. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Question of the day. What is... Let's see... excuse me. It's been one of those weeks, guys. I'm exhausted. Okay, if you read my books or you watch my videos, what is something I haven't done that you'd like to see? Is there, on my channel, my YouTube channel, or on this podcast, is there a certain type of subject you'd like to see me cover, or a challenge of some sort you'd like to see? In my books, is there a subject you'd like to see me explore in my books? Historically, fictional or non-fictional? Just on YouTube, leave the comments down below. And on Podomatic and iTunes, you leave a review telling me what your answer is. If you're watching this video, please like it, share it, favorite, comment it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. If you're listening to this podcast, please subscribe to the podcast either on iTunes or Podomatic. This is my podcast, Anthony Avina. I am a writer a novelist, author, YouTuber, overall just creative person. Looking to connect with my readers, my followers, anyone who listens. This is me just connecting to you guys, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you guys for watching / listening. Leave those comments down below. Like, share, favorite, comment, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe to the podcasts on either Podomatic or iTunes. And if you are a fellow YouTuber or podcast producer or something, and you'd like to collaborate, if you'd like to meet up for possible videos, for possible podcasts of any kind, especially if you live in Southern California, hit me up either on my YouTube channel, on the podcast in a review, or on any of my social media links, which you can find on YouTube and the podcast. My Twitter, you can direct message me or reply to me if you want to talk. Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, any of those things. You can find a list down below. And then check out my books, guys. I'd appreciate it. 2 days left on the free book promotion. Alright? I want to get going. Thank you guys for watching / listening. This is Anthony Avina, coming to you at the edge of sanity. And I will talk to you guys later. Alright? Peace out, guys.